your boy J Lou, and you guys are just in time for a brand new video. Alright, now in this video what I'm going to be talking to you guys today about is the brush until dry wash method. Now I know a lot of people are very familiar with the washing style method that was made famous by Young Wavy. He's an OG in the wave game, and a lot of people learned a lot of things from even some of these YouTube wavers that y'all look up to. But some people may be asking,
why are you making a video when the washing style is so known and so famous and it works well?
For me, when I first came into the pages, Young Wavy actually gave me the instructions of how to do the washing style directly from him, you know what I'm saying? But every time I did it, either I would get good results or sometimes my results would come out just complete trash. Either I would have shampoo still left in my head, either my hair would be dry, and then being a low porosity waver, I would have to go apply products after my hair dried off and my cuticles sealed up, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about you guys, but if you are a low porosity waver like me, the washing style may not be the best thing for you to do. So that's one of the reasons why I'm explaining the brush until dry wash method. Now this isn't something I came up with, you know what I'm saying? This is something that a lot of people on the pages probably already do or already know about, but I just wanted to make a video to show you guys how I do it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so for the first step of this method, you have to shampoo your hair. I'm gonna make sure I leave a link right above here to how I normally shampoo my hair, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so for the product that I'm gonna be using today, this is the Shea Moisture's Manuka Honey and Mackerel Oil Intensive Hydration Shampoo. It has fig extract, and then like I mentioned in my low porosity waver video, this also has baobab oil, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those oils that are really good for low porosity wavers. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shampoo my hair twice and then go into the rest of the steps. Alright, now a lot of people tend to ask,
J Lou, is it safe for me to scramble wash my hair?
I previously made a video about the benefits of scramble washing, but I just want to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers, you know what I'm saying? His name is Justin Christian. He hit me up on my inbox and everything like that, and he was just chopping it up and asking me some questions, and then he was like,
man, I just really want to tell you that the scramble washing, I didn't believe it at first, but ever since I started doing it, I don't see as much dandruff.
And that's one of the things that you guys got to understand. Scramble washing won't mess your waves up, so that's one reason why I prefer doing it, but at the same time, it cleanses your scalp the best way. And because this method requires you to brush your hair till it's dry, if you are really putting in the work and the effort, scramble washing won't disturb your pattern, because a lot of times you only wash your hair like maybe once a week, so that's 4 times in a month versus the entire month that you're supposed to be brushing your hair, you know what I'm saying? So the next thing you got to do is condition your hair. I'm going to leave a link to my video about how I condition my hair right above here and everything like that. Now the reason why you have to condition your hair is because shampooing will strip and cleanse your scalp as well as all your hair. It'll get all the products, any oil, anything like that out of your hair, but you have to condition it, which basically means bring it back to a state of healthiness, you know? So that's one reason why I didn't like the washing style, because the washing style requires you to have a lot of suds to brush your hair down into place, because the suds kind of hold your pattern into place, but you can't use conditioner within a washing style, you know? So it's just like my hair will be left in this dry state, and when I will unrag, it may look good, but at the end of the day, it's dull and everything like that. You gotta apply products, and like I said already, as a low porosity waver, I already missed my chance because my hair is already closed up, you know? So next thing you got to do is condition your hair, so let's get into that. Alright, so just like the shampoo, the condition I'm going to be using, this is the Manuka Honey and Mackerel Oil. This is basically the combo of the shampoo, you know? I'll make sure I leave the link in the description of where you can buy these or find these products and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people tend to ask, but let's not waste any more time. With this specific product line of Shea Moisture, is targeted towards giving your hair moisture. It's also going to give your hair a lot of shine, and at the same time it's going to make your hair a lot more manageable because it's going to soften your hair. And that's one of the reasons why I prefer shampooing and then conditioning my hair. And then what I typically like to do is I'll just throw on processing cap, you know what I'm saying? This is, some people call it a shower cap, but I'll throw this on for about 3 minutes. It allows my head to generate heat, and this thing captures the heat. As you guys can see, it's kind of steaming up and everything like that. And this is kind of like a cheap man's version of a steamer, you know? know. So this right here, in my personal opinion, it gives me enough heat to open up my cuticles and allow my hair to absorb in the nutrients from the conditioner so that it can be as healthy as possible. And then once the 3 minutes are passed, what I prefer to do is just to do a cold water rinse. The reason why I do a cold water rinse is because it helps seal in those properties, but at the same time it removes any excess conditioner out of your hair. With that being said, let's get into the next step. Alright, so once you finish conditioning your hair and doing a cold water rinse, the water will basically help saturate your hair follicle, and then the conditioner will help provide the nutrients that your hair needs. So the next thing I'm trying to do as soon as possible is get an oil that will help seal in all of that moisture and everything like that, so I can go for about 3 or 4 days maybe, just without having to apply any kind of products or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Now the oil that I'm going to be using today, this is Legion sauce. Don't trip, the review is coming, you know what I'm saying? I just got a lot of stuff that I've been doing lately. Alright, now with the Legion sauce, what I typically do is, depending on how long I'm woofing, like if I'm woofing for 6 weeks, then I'll add 2 to that, and that's how many drops I'll apply to my hair, you know what I'm saying? As for me, it's been about 7 or 8 weeks, so what I'm going to do is go for about 10 drops. So let's get into it. And when you apply it, you want to apply it in a floral pattern. Alright, now this is the bulk of the method. Alright, now with this method, even though it's called the brush till dry method, you don't want to brush your hair completely dry. You want to get it to a state to where it's slightly damp. And the reason why you want to do that is because at the end of it, you're going to rag up and everything like that. So one of the reasons why people tend to avoid doing this method is because they want quick fixes and stuff like that. And they tend to say,
"Hey man, it takes my hair forever to dry. I don't want to be brushing my hair for hours."
Well, I'm going to give you guys some tips as I'm going through this method to show you guys how I speed it up, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Now, after a wash, I always start off with a hard brush. You do not have to brush your hair very hard with a hard brush. If you want to know more information about that, I'll make sure I link a video right above here. But I'm going to be using the Diane OG 8159, so let's get into it. Alright, so as you guys can see, the main reason why I use the hard brush is because a hard brush will help bring back that definition, because it's going to stretch out your curls. Because after you wash like this, your hair is going to be all coiled up and curly and everything like that, and a hard brush is basically going to pull those curls in the direction that you want. But you don't want to brush too long with a hard brush because your hair is wet, you know what I'm saying? So once you feel like you get your pattern basically to a state to where it looks good, the next thing you want to do is grab either a medium hard brush or your favorite medium brush. Now today I'm going to be using, this is the Torino Pro. This is a curve, this is a medium, you know what I'm saying? And the biggest secret about doing this method is whenever you're brushing, your bristles will get wet. And if you keep brushing with wet bristles, it's going to take you a longer time period to brush your hair till dry. But every now and then, what I prefer to do and what I do within this method is I take my towel and I just dry off my bristles. Or if you're a waver like myself, you have several different brushes, you just switch out through the different brushes that you have, you know what I'm saying? That's basically the secret, so let's get into it. Alright, now at this point I can tell that my bristles are definitely getting damp and everything like that, and you'll know because the pull won't be as much as it was when you first started off. So all you gotta do is take a towel like this and basically pat it like that, and then what I try to do is just simply take it and then just brush it along the towel like this. And that will help dry your bristles a little bit faster so you can finish this method as fast as possible. Now, I already mentioned that you can either do this or you can switch out your brushes, but the third thing that I forgot to mention is you can take a t-shirt and just simply pat dry your hair. So if you've been brushing for a very long time and you feel like, okay, I'm drying my bristles out and everything like that, but it still feels like my hair is very, very wet, all you have to do is just take a t-shirt like this and then just pat dry your hair. You just put it on and do like this. Alright, now the reason why I recommend pat drying is because if you take a regular towel and dry your hair, most people what they do is take a towel, put it in their head and do like this. When you do that, that dries your hair a little bit too fast. As a wavy, you want to dry your hair in increments because you're trying to style your hair. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer pat drying my hair with the t-shirt. But with all of that being said, you got to keep brushing, so let's get into it. Alright, so how would you know when to stop? Like I mentioned already, you want to stop your hair, you want to stop brushing and when your hair gets slightly damp, you know what I'm saying? And the way you'll be able to tell is you take a mirror and you look at your hair in the mirror, and one thing that you'll notice is most of your definition will have come back. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people tend to say,
oh man, I hate wash days because it takes me forever to bounce back.
But as you guys can see, already my waves have bounced back. Now, even though my pattern has bounced back, one thing I want to point out is you know when to stop because your hair tends to have like these little frizzes that kind of stick up a little bit, because when your hair is wet, that's what it tries to do. It tries to curl back up, you know what I'm saying? So I typically stop when I see that most of that is gone and it's only a little bit that's still sticking up. And at this stage, depending on if you are woofing or whatever the case is, if you're not woofing, you don't have to do this step. But if you are woofing, this is just an additional step that you can add onto it. But for me, I typically will add on a pomade. Now, one of my favorite pomades, like I mentioned in the past, is the HD Waves. The main reason why I like using this pomade is because all of the products that I've used today, they all have something similar in common. The Shea Moisture shampoo and conditioner gives my hair moisture and shine. The Legion sauce will help give my hair moisture and shine as well as seal it up. And then because this is kind of like more so a butter in my opinion, the butter will be like a second coat of sealant. But this product basically, it conditions your hair at the same time while giving your hair shine and hold. You know what I'm saying? So once your hair gets to that state that I just showed you guys, you want to take a little bit of this pomade. You don't have to use a lot, you know what I'm saying, because a little goes a long way with this product. Because I'm woofing, I'm going to use about this much. Put that in your hands, rub it around. And when I apply it to my hair, the first thing I want to do is try to apply it to my crown area. So I'm going to tap my crown area like this. Always wash your hands before you grab a brush or anything else. And then now that I have the HD Waves in my hair, now I'm gonna fully brush till I'm dry and then put my do-rag on. And that's basically the method, so let's close it out. But one little tip, you wanna try to use a brush with black boar bristles. You wanna try to avoid using blonde bristle brushes to brush in products and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a little tip for you guys to understand, you know what I'm saying? Now the last brush that I'm going to use to help close my crown off before I rag up, this is going to be the new Torino Pro Curve. The main reason why I'm going to use this is because when I brush my crown, especially while woofing, I prefer closing it out with a hard brush. So let's get into it. Alright, now once you feel like you've gotten your hair in place, you can either do, this is the last step that you can do, either you can use a plastic bag or you can just use your hands. What I typically prefer doing with this method is I'll just rub my hands across, because your hands will be able to absorb any extra little moisture out of your hair, so whenever you unrag, it won't be curled up or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So, and one thing I gotta brag on is, like I said, man, look at the results already. I haven't even ragged up yet, but once I rag up and get my hair laid down, the results are gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna hold y'all from that. Alright, now me personally, I don't like tying my do-rags up. I'm gonna have a video explaining why I do what I do when it comes to ragging up and everything like that. But if I'm chilling in my house, I'm not about to tie my do-rag up, you know what I'm saying? You can choose to tie your do-rag up, but that's your choice. I'm gonna be back once my hair is laid. I'm gonna give it about maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes and everything like that. Alright, so I'm back and I'm basically gonna show you guys the results of this method, you know what I'm saying? So let's get straight to the point. Alright, so y'all tell me what y'all think of the results. One thing I want to say in closing is a lot of people tend to ask me what is my preferred wash method, you know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned, I tried doing a washing style, but that was back in a while. And some people tend to ask me,
Hey J. Lou, what are your thoughts on wash and go? Like, would you recommend doing it?
as for me, it's a no. Alright, now the main reason why I like doing this method is mainly because as a waver, I prefer brushing my hair as much as possible. And whenever you brush your hair to dry and you follow the steps to make sure that your hair gets the proper moisture, gets the proper nutrients, as well as gets sealed and everything like that, so you don't have to wash your hair or apply products too much the day after it. To me, that's like the ideal situation, you know what I'm saying? You can combine it with any of your products to figure out what combo works the best for you. I like the lesion sauce as well as the HD waves. Sometimes I'll throw in some Diva products and stuff like that. But yeah, man, like I prefer doing this mainly because it gives me a chance to really brush my hair and get my waves in a state to where they look good. And another thing to consider when I always used to do the washing style is not putting it down. I'm not trying to take its place out of the wave game and trying to say, oh, that's bogus, you shouldn't do that. To me, everything in the wave game has a certain spot except for the wash and go. I'm not about to try to take credit for the brush to dry method because like I told you guys from the beginning, this is something that a lot of the OG wavers do, but nobody's ever really made a video on YouTube that I know about, you know what I'm saying? And I figured I'd be the first one, you know? And I also want to follow in Young Wavy's steps because when Young Wavy did what he did, he didn't do it to basically have his name on it. He did it for the betterment of the wave game. So if you try this method and it definitely works for you, or if you're giving it a thought to try it out, you know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this method, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're gonna keep it moving in 2018. I'm gonna keep bringing you guys fresh and new content. And like I told y'all, I am currently in the works of trying to get my merch. I know a lot of people have been asking me about it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really just grinding just to try to make sure that I get everything set up for the shop. So, and I'm telling y'all, I'm changing the game up, you know what I'm saying? I know there's been people that have come before me, they've done their thing. The way I look at it is, you can't ask people to be number one, you know what I'm saying? You basically gotta exert yourself. What we gonna do is continue to bring content that's gonna help you guys. I appreciate everybody that hit me up in my inbox, you know what I'm saying? I try to get back to everybody, but if I don't, just give your boy some patience, you know what I'm saying? And give me a little bit of grace. But at the end of the day, it's your boy J. Lou. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys have a blessed week. Salute!
Come brush with me, ayy, do what I do. Lou is the name, I'm so off the chain. Torino is the brush, do wet wood grain. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have something. Brush a wave, I have